well as these defensive midfielders are performing. If you're playing with team, you'll get a solid 8.5 out of 10 every game. If you're playing with Blom, you'll get the same results. If you're playing Usithole, uzothola the same results. Usibongiseni Mthethwa, the same result. We just need a striker who's going to be like that, because I feel like we have strikers right now in South Africa, but I don't think we have prolific strikers. That's the difference, Uguti. We have strikers, but not prolific strikers, So, Utu Anele Hugo doesn't respect Charlie. It's a huge debate, Leo. Uguti, people are talking about Charlie this, Charlie that, but to be honest, Bruce has made a mistake before, and he corrected himself with Zwane. So with Themba Zwane, he started with the same thing. He said, he's not gonna play him, blah blah blah, because there are better players in that position. Guys, please like the live stream, the video. But he then went back on his word and said he had made a mistake. Only fools don't change. If they see someone is good, then if the player is good, the player is good. So that's what happens. He brought back Zwane. It was easy for Zwane. I think it was easy for him to do that with Zwane, because with Zwane in that position, or Serrero, the people who were playing that position, or Toli, Bebedalezo number 10, were not really showing up. Even the guys that Bruce was trying to trust in playing as number 10 did not really perform. But with Uchali, the thing that is happening is that, as I just said, Kunama defensive midfielders, our 4, who are playing really, really well. So because of that, Uchali is now in a problem. Yoguti angeka kwazi ungena kuleso squad, and I'm sure ukuthi Bruce Kwayena is like, I almost made a mistake again and said, Uchali, I will not get Uchali to the national team, and all of a sudden, I don't have someone to fill that position. But currently, he does have someone to fill that position, 4 of those people. So I don't think it's necessarily Uguti, he has no respect for Uchali. I just think he has this idea in his head. Uguti wants to build a team that is going forward, that's going to have a certain age group, and if they are good enough, he's going to stick with them. And then Uchali, because he hasn't been the player better than the players that are there in his squad, then he's thinking, you know what, I'm not going to get him into the squad, because Vele at this moment, I kind of don't need him. So yeah, that's that. Okay, Joe says, we need at least one tall striker in the squad because we are wasting corners and crosses. I couldn't agree more. Ulebo Motiba, I've been seeing some videos, not videos, on Twitter. I've been seeing Guti, I think he scored a goal in his last match or something. So maybe that's something to look forward to, because the players that we have in other positions, Omayo on the left, we have Osaleng, Osekhota, bakhona abadlali abapace, we have creativity, Zwane emva kwakhe. So, and he did show AFCON the last time we played, he could hold the ball up. So maybe it could be that striker, because when I look everywhere else, that's the only striker that I see. There's this other Afrikaner guy, I forget his name, but he is also that kind of striker with physique yoguthi angaba lapha and hold the ball up, basically abe target man yethu kwi Bafana Bafana. But right now we're still struggling in that space. Nangu umondli ethi uMailula uyadingeka kuBafana Bafana as young as he is. I think there is no ruling that out ukuthi Bruce could call him up, because it's Bruce, and we've seen ukuthi he does not necessarily do things the way people expect him or the way that people want him to do. Okuzolamula ukuthi iSundowns, they must continue giving the boy game time, which I don't know ukuthi bazoqhubeka bamnikeze game time, but ama performances akhe of late guarantee, well, they don't guarantee, nothing guarantees you is game with Sundowns because there are so many quality players. So if he continues to perform well, then I don't see a reason why Bruce might not call him up, because akanalo attitude yokuthi ingane, so ingane kumele ihlale ebhenchini. So I think there is a chance yokuthi singambona uMailula. I hope that's how his surname is pronounced. And Nangucho eti, yes, Lebo can be called up. He recently came back from an injury. That's why he was previously excluded. Yes, indaba yama injury. Naye ukuthi inkosi yami wayilimala kwenze njani. Sometimes players like Lebo Motiba, you ask yourself ukuthi besides ama muscle injuries yini enye ngalimala, because he's more like a player osuke imele phambili elinde ibhola, but he does have some pace in him. So we will see what happens with Motiba when they do call him back, because I mean he's one of the good players that we have kuleya position ye striker as well. No, we have not forgotten Ulutha Singh. It's just that I think when he last came to Bafana Bafana and he played, I wasn't really overly thrilled by his performance yake. So it's easy to then not like remember those players because they were just there and you're like, oh, okay, he's just one of the players that the coach was trying out, and now they've tried him out and now we don't see him again. Because I think maybe Ulutha Singh Nai, what happened to him is that is the same thing that happened to Ashley Dupree. He got called up to Bafana Bafana and then the coach wasn't impressed at all, or maybe he underwhelmed the coach, so he's just like, okay, let me just let him go because I don't see what he's giving to me. Because I think Bruce is that kind of a coach. Uguti, he makes ama decisions akhe and he sticks to them. Like you see how he just you see how he decided to just not include Dupree, well, because of what he saw from the other game that Dupree last played for Bafana Bafana. And it was like, no, he will never be in Bafana Bafana. And that's it. It's like the book is closed. Like, said this player is not good enough. Period. So, nangu vele Mondli adding ukuthi Ulutha Singh is also not playing for his team in the first place abroad. And I think that's another thing that people are hating on Bruce for. There are players for a very long time, and I think it happens with many national teams as well, Uguti. There are players who actually don't play for their own teams abroad, but they come to the national team and then people just want the player to play because they are so and so, and they were good players when they were in SA, so they should play in SA, although there are players in the same position who are playing better. So sizothatha umdlali who's performing well. Let's take Usaleng for example and say, okay, he's playing as a winger, but Userero is also playing as a winger. Just making an example because Userero is another player who's abroad. Okay, Userero is also playing as a winger, so you can't play who's this guy? Let's say you can't play Usaleng because Userero. No, Bruce Enkbona, he's not playing abadlali based on Uguti what's your name, but he's playing you based on how do you perform. He's not playing you based on which team you play for, but he's playing you because he believes Uguti you are the one who should be playing because you've been performing better than the other players. And obviously umuntu, I think indaba kaJali is the one that people will always go back to ukuthi ayengeke nganakho nje uJali uyaperforma but still akambizi. Let me go back to our comments again, guys. Please do like the video, please ukuze nabanye abantu bezoyibona. Costa Ncuphe says, I once heard ngathi Ulutha unayo nengxaki yokungabi naso isimilo. Nakho angazi ke ngengicomment comment lapho, but ke there you go. If such things are true or are out there, if okusta bezizwa lezinto, there is another thing. There is another thing yokuthi kunenkinga yokuthi if the player also has problems themselves, then akukho lula to be in a team ka Hugo Bruce, because as I said, wenza ama decisions akhe and he sticks with them, or he sticks to them. And if you stick to decisions as a coach, you end up being this polarizing figure ukuthi there are coaches who try to be liked by a team, like Luis Enrique. He's trying to do that with Spain right now. He has opened a Twitch page, I think, so that a Twitch page, so that he can communicate with Spanish fans to tell them what's going on with the team, because he's trying to win them over, because he left players like Abo Sergio Ramos, Abo Thiago, but he included Ansu Fati, although Ansu Fati has not been playing that well. So I think he's trying to win the fans over by keeping them updated. So that one is trying to win the fans and be on their side. On the other hand, with Bruce, he doesn't seem like a guy, hello Mpo, welcome. With a guy like Bruce, he doesn't seem like a person ozama uguti uwina some people. He's just trying to be him. That's all that he's doing. He's trying to be him, and he's sticking with that. And he's getting criticized constantly. But the guy doesn't seem to be fazed, because he knows ukuthi he's even gone as far as winning i-AFCON in African football. So he knows ukuthi lento ayenzayo uyayazi, and if kukuthi uyahluleka ucoach Bafana Bafana, uzobe hluleke because of his own philosophy ukuthi ngizamile my way and then I failed. Akusikho ukuthi ngizozama and then be pressured into doing things in a certain way. I'm just gonna do things the way that I see fit, and if people disagree with me, well, they have opinions and they're allowed to have opinions. If you're enjoying this video, once again, please do subscribe. Urendani Nechwiluvi, sorry, can I just say Rendani and stick with that? It's his way or the highway. When you say it like that, when you say it like that, Rendani, it sounds like what do analyze say, Guti is arrogant, stubborn. But here's the thing, the thing that has been trending on social media the past few days, a week even, is Uguti Ronaldo, not Ten Hag, are not getting along, Man United. But the question that I have is, a player like Ronaldo is not fitting with style as Erik Ten Hag. It has been shown Uguti United wins less games, performs worse if they have Ronaldo in their team compared to when Ronaldo is not there. So then, in a team like Bafana Bafana, then, if Bruce sees a player like, say, Singh will not help the team improve, would he call him to the team? If he thinks a player like Andy Lechal will not help how Bafana Bafana plays, is it not justified then to not include him in the team? I am just asking. I'm not saying this is the case. It's a question that I'm asking Uguti. I feel like at some point you just need a coach also decide to go, okay, this is what I want, and this is what I'm going to do. Let me show this comment, because YouTube is trying to hide your comment, Queenie Siziba. It says, I like his attitude, really. That one doesn't take. Oh, okay, that's why they were hiding your comment, because it doesn't take whatever in his right. But yeah, he really decides and sticks to his decisions, and I've been saying that for the longest time. I think one of the things that we is also going to continue being a debate is indaba kaMopi ukuthi some people are still pissed ukuthi he still picks uMopi kuBafana Bafana, and people don't like that because they're like, why does he keep on picking Umobi? Why does he keep picking Umobi? And I think I saw a comment earlier that was talking about how Umobi is better for Bafana Bafana when he plays for Bafana Bafana. And it's funny actually, because there are players like Utapelo Mrena, for instance. I think that player is very good. I think Umrena is very good. But Kwayena uhlaliswe benchini because coach sees something Umobi. And I'm not gonna lie, I've not seen Umobi like performing horrible for Bafana Bafana. I've just seen him giving consistent performances. Not obviously about 10 out of 10. Uguti, he's brilliant or whatever. But it's just, I can't complain. He's that kind of player that plays and I'm like, you know what, I can't complain. He's good enough. Akusiko ukuthi uyavuza, uyaperforma, uyayenza lento le okumele ayenze. So angeke bafethu mina ngicomplain vele with a player ongakazaboze and now try and put pressure on the coach ukuthi since you are not selecting someone and so that means kumele aqosh basically, because he's not going to take our nonsense. Because phela nathi singamabhuli. That's another thing that we need to understand. As abalandeli le live stream bekumele iphele 7 minutes ago, but ngoba niyakhuluma ke kuma comments ngizoqhubeka ngiwafunde and I will continue with the live stream. So 4 a.m. by the way in Indonesia kumele abe ngiyalala because ngiyemsebenzini ekuseni. But ngifunda comment ka Anele uthi I love coaches who are arrogant but do things properly. I mean, my question to you, Anele, by the way, I see the likes are going up. Let's keep them going up. My question is, do you think Bruce has put a foot wrong so far? Because we were close to qualifying for the World Cup, but then that happened. What happened with Ghana happened. And if you look at how the team has improved from how we're playing back when we played against Ghana compared to how we're playing now, you can see the team has improved significantly. You really can't argue with that. And Ujo says, we need a stubborn coach because previously we had coaches who could be manipulated by agents to select their players. That's why we had cases where a player was not playing at their club but got a call-up. Yeah, true ngempela. That's what I was saying. Ukuthi angifuni lento leyo ukuthi umdlali will just get selected just because they are so and so. Umdlali, every player that comes to the national team should come to the national team based on merit, not based on ngiwu so and so mina and I should play. Because those players, they don't only get called up to the national team and perform nonsense because bayazi ukuthi vele ngisho ngaboza ngizosithola ischeme, but also i-attitude yabo nje ayikho right. It doesn't feed the other players good vibes, because everyone in this team is now worshipping this guy wazi ukuthi uzodlala ngisho kuthiwa uboza kanjani, ngisho kuthiwa ubuya kwi-injury uzofika dlalisa. So no, nonsense. Angeke akumele siyitolerate leyo nto leyo. Kumele nje umuntu maye ngaperformi angadlali kuphele kanjalo. Blade, welcome to Blade. We need to get rid of Danny Jordan first. Yeah, ziningi yabona ezinye zama issues. Those are some of the issues that we need to really deal with in our football, in everything really. Like we need to get abantu who played football in these positions. I think what is happening is that we are just run into, even ekumele be ranwa abantu abadlala ibhola abalaziyo ibhola zigcine zidilwa by ama politicians. So ama politicians mayingena, they deal with these things based on making a favor for so and so, or trying to not step on someone else's toes. So basically they end up trying to balance the scales, make everyone happy, but also benefit from that, because if I do something and I'm popular with the fans, or I'm popular with so and so, then I keep my position. And you know, so Danny Jordan nje uyabona nje ukuthi khona nje decision abayenza when they fired uPitso. I never got and understood that thing yokuthi bamxosha uPitso at that time. Obviously waqhubeka and went on and did good things with the Sundowns, but they just fired him just like that. Akwangenzeka lutho, and then baqhubeka baqasho coach esingabatholi kahle ukuthi ikhiphani ngabo because abal understand iball. So how are we going to take people who don't understand football and make them in charge of the sport, bese ngifuna ukuthi the biggest sport in SA? And then I thought of ukuthi abantu bazothi I lost my train of thought right now. I really forgot what I wanted to say. This is what happens when you are doing a live stream, because there's so much pressure ukuthi there are people watching you right now. So ngizoskipha leyo nto because sengivele ngayikhohlwa. Uthi ngifunda ama comment ukuthi King Joe says, that's my cue for the night, gents. Mpilo and everyone in the chat, have a good one, brothers. Good night, King Joe. Kusebusuku vele manje in SA. What's the time? I think it's 5 hours ahead. Okay, 12 minutes past 11. Yeah, kusebusuku. And ngizoyenda le streamless in 7 minutes. Nami kumele ngiyolala 20 past. No, asingathi in 7 minutes at half past. So Anele says Hugo Bruce is neglecting some players who deserve to play. Listens to his critics and he must only play against tough friendly games. Yabo Anele ngizokuphikisa la. I think I'll disagree with you because uBruce ngiyakhumbula ukuthi he started by playing when we went to play against France. People were always saying, hey, he must play tough friendly games. He went and he played against France. If France has exposure, taba ngo 5-0 25-15 by me Ireland Quincy Zibe abantu baningi baselokhu njeni basemazweni. Anyway ngiqhubeka ukuthi uBruce goes and plays against France, and against France yes, expose France, right? Kwaphela ngathi. And then we went and played against opponents that are a bit easier to play against, and then we won games. And now people are saying we should play against opponents azosinikeza more challenge. Yipi challenge ukuthi sidliwe ngo 5-0. I think what we need ukuthi i-team yethu ijele, get used to playing together, and then sloku siklimba i-ladder kanje, because njengamanje bezidlala with someone who's like 45-50 places below us. Mele ke siqale sikhuphule igap, sidlale nabantu abathu ukusondelana nathi, and then siyiteste i-strength sethu, because lento yokuthi lokhu sifuna ukudlala ama-friendly match against Belgium bazositrapa, and we won't like that. So I would rather we just start by building a confidence of our team and then get better. Uthi played akekho umuntu ozolala lana akuvuka. Ngazi kufuna ufuna sihlale kuze kube nini we played nomphona uyamsupporta. Okay guys, keep those comments going. Awuthi ngifunde uplayed another comment usithe Lucas Hadebe and Dr. Khumalo bakhona kodwa benze lutho for our country as former players. Okay, I think with that thing ga Lucas Hadebe no Dr. Khumalo, I read in a comment Uchemi Karaka was being asked if he would ever go to management, and he said he wouldn't because of something that has to do with his emotional what. And even with Doctor, you see which Chiefs is not even being considered to become coach or advisor or whatever. I think that's by design. I think abafuni ukusondelana nokukhuluma, abafuni ukusondelana nedrama yokuthi sekuzothi uDoctor, because imagine uDr. Khumalo coming back coaching iChiefs ajike aboze. Uyabo ukuthi sekuzoba into manje ukuthi usehlulekile uDoctor uhlule ucoach iChiefs, and then like ilegacy yakhe it's kind of tarnished by ukuthi uThemba isecoach akangenza lutho. I think some of these players, some of these legends are trying to stay away from coaching jobs because maybe they just know ukuthi emotionally they can't deal with those things, so they just stay away from such. Thank you guys again for joining us. Asiqhubekeni ngama likes, asiqhubekeni, the live stream is continuing. Asiqhubekeni ngama likes. I only see 18 likes right now. Asithi nje ukhuphuka, sithi ukhuphuka kancane because yeah we are watching here. Umbapi wangitraumatize anele ngempela because wangitraumatize Mbappe, shem, wangitraumatize Mbappe. And our players, after losing to Mbappe, what they did, they were taking selfies with Mbappe. So maybe they shouldn't play against players who they consider as celebrities. Excuse me, because ngiyathimula. So and then Ukusta Ngcope says the team needs to build momentum, take Israel kind of matches and build confidence to play overseas players. Sure, I definitely agree with you. Lento leyo ukuthi we're always trying to let's play against the best. We're not even the best in Africa, so asimeni kancane ngokuzama ukuqhubha lama team. I wonder if it would be, thank you Blade, I wonder if it would be a good idea for us in Africa to do the same thing that they are currently doing in Europe, which is Nations League, because if you look at what Nations League does, these players are not flying to other continents to play like friendly, but they are playing with Nations League, which is something competitive that kind of means something because it's a league that you end up winning something, my pal. So it means something, and it increases the quality of the games that they are playing in Nations League. It's just that it's putting more strains on the players, but it gives them an incentive to perform better because at the end of the day, they will win something. So I think also in Africa, it would help our football very well if kwathina singaba ne-Nations League yethu, because lento yokuthi ngale e-England badlala Nations League ne-Germany and it's helping their football improve. Thina on the other hand, sidlala ama-friendly that mean nothing. Then at the end of the day, we are just going to see our games are flat. But I'm happy today with, although it was a friendly, we saw some improvement and we saw some passion as already highlighted. And then Kusta says, we can't have them as coaches but behind the scenes. So Kuplade is talking about Dr. Khumalo ukuthi they can be behind the scenes. I think your point agrees with what Anele is saying, ukuthi players or former footballers like about Dr. Khumalo can become like scouts and they can be checking out players and be behind the scenes and not coaching, which is okay, which is good. But I think there's a good reason. There's a good reason why they are totally staying away, because I think as a Kaizer Chiefs fan, we have talked about this a lot, Uguti. When you look at a team like Kaizer Chiefs, were always found Uguti Chiefs wants this player, and then all of a sudden they end up going elsewhere, not just to Sundown, sometimes to other teams as well. And the conclusion that I've kind of come to, Uguti Chiefs has scouting networks all over, but the management doesn't act on that. So because the management doesn't act on the players that are being scouted, what ends up happening is that the players are taken by other clubs because Chiefs is taking way too long to sign those players. So I think that is why also Abo Doctor will stay away from doing such things, because uzothatha kuhambe uyo scout eBrazil, and then you leave your family, you go, you scout there, you find good quality players, you say, hey, nansi profile yomdlali that I found here in Brazil, and imsayineni, he's hot property. And then the Chiefs will take 17 hours and 45 minutes, not 17 hours, will take 17 months to decide ukuthi bayamsayina lo mdlali. And by the time they sign that player, or they decide to go, okay, now we're going to submit bid yokuqala, there's someone who has already signed that player and then it's gone. So maybe that's why they're staying away from this, because epoleni there are a lot of politics, maningi ama-politic, iningi nje politics, and we are not realizing that sometimes ukuthi for example uThomas Tuchel azozaxoshwa kwi-Chelsea. One of the things ayibanga with the management uTodd Boehly was that uTodd Boehly, the like chairman whatever with Chelsea, wanted him to sign Ronaldo, and then Tuchel did not want that to happen. He didn't want Ronaldo in his team for good reason. But he didn't want Ronaldo in his team. So when he saw Tuchel wasn't performing, he was like, okay, this is what I needed. This is the good excuse that I needed. So now let me fire this guy. And then he fired him because he didn't do what he wanted him to do. So that has nothing to do with football, but it has to do with a preference ga coach ga chairman. Ukuthi chairman ufuna Ronaldo, Tuchel doesn't want Ronaldo, and since he doesn't want Ronaldo, says totally excuse yokuthi amxoshe and hire a coach that he can make a puppet. Let's go back to our comments. Ukusta Ncuphe was saying unyanisile mpilo, look at Frank Lampard. Today's kids will only remember him as this coach he is now. Yeah, and if you look at that, even with Steven Gerrard, he was a good coach, went to Rangers, did some things, comes back, coaches Aston Villa, and he fails to coach Aston Villa. And if Villa, it's not like they did not have players. They had good squad. They spent money, a lot of money on players, guys. Like they spent a lot of money, but Gerrard failed to coach that team, and because of that sekubukeka ngathi manje uGerrard wayesinikiniki, because after that they hire Unai Emery, uyafika ushaya Manchester United on form, ufika uyayishaya, sekuba ngathi hawu kanti uGerrard ubecoach ukuthini ngempela, yabo. And no Lampard naye wafika wayicoacha kahle iChelsea the first season, and then the second season ayiperformayo because for whatever reason, but why suspend where like 250 million pounds ukuthi assign abadlali, but then he couldn't deliver the results, and because of that he got the sack. So that's what happened. Let's go back to our comments. Costa, look at Benny McCarthy, he was something else. And then uthi Bobby and Danny Jordan, same WhatsApp group, banenkani, and akunama changes that we're seeing with them in charge of respective things that we're talking about, Bafana Bafana and Kaizer Chiefs. And then Anele says Zwane could have played overseas if he was developed. Nangoge who played at Themba exactly to a comment yakhe. So Bafethu, that's all that we want to say about Bafana Bafana. Let's go back with those likes if you enjoyed the video. I'm glad that this live stream has worked. I was actually just trying to test and see if it would work, and it seemed like it does work. So maybe I will stop recording videos and just make my live streams, because they make my life much easier and I can have live interactions with you. Ningabizi nina uBhobhi ngesiniki ngizongiqhatha nabantu, angifuni kuthiwa babiza uBhobhi ngesiniki because angifuni ukuzwa lokho. So again guys, if you are new to this channel, please do subscribe. This channel we talk about Kaizer Chiefs Football Club, and if udlala Bafana Bafana we also talk about Bafana Bafana. So yeah, I think it just has to be said ukuthi mina on my side I am for Bruce Hugo Bruce to coach Bafana Bafana, and I think so far so good. We just need to qualify for a CAF next season and the AFCON. Oh my god, yabona nje masikhulisa le channel ngizohamba ngizohamba nami ngiyobuka iAfcon bese siyokwenza nje. I know Blade ukuthi uthukile ungibona ku live stream. Ngiya experimenta ngezinto. I told you guys ukuthi I am trying by all means to increase my interaction with football fans. So I am doing a podcast, as you can see the number below. If you want to talk about HFC, WhatsApp that number. Go. We need to cancel some of the leagues in SA. So Nan's number, if you want to be on the show, you can just WhatsApp me. It's an Indonesian number. If you don't know how to get a plus on your keyboard, long press 0 until ashinchabo plus, and then you can type 62 and continue. Then I can host you on the show, and then we can talk, and then you can be on YouTube. Win-win. And yeah, I just want to talk to football fans. I'm the only one who right, because I believe people have opinions, and I'm not the smartest person in the world. Conversations are better when it's me and talking to other people. So yeah, make sure you subscribe if you haven't, and leave a like if you haven't. I think now about 17 who are watching right now, but some of them are scared of commenting for whatever reason. But thank you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching the video. Congratulations to Bruce. Congratulations to Bafana Bafana. Big shout out to Hlongwane, Utim, and all the other guys for the performance today. Thank you for watching, and until next time, remember, equals no muipagapaka alipeli umoya, and we are out.